Hello, it's time for Sunday Yin again. So we do Sunday Yin to remind ourselves that it's not up to us, that God does His work in us, even when and especially when we are still. And that sometimes being still can be more difficult than moving. So Yin Yoga is where you hold a pose that doesn't take a lot of effort for a long time, for a minute, sometimes 5 minutes. We won't hold one for 5 minutes, not tonight at least. But it's in the practicing being still that we invite rest into our lives, and we invite the recognition that we are not in control. What I love about Yin is the place that my mind is challenged to be and to rest when I'm in it. So what we'll do together today is a few Yin poses, as we do on Sundays, with the intention to give over our week, the intention to I don't want to say let go of, the intention to refuse movement, refuse frenzy. This afternoon, I was sitting with my son, the 4-year-old, who's been on here a few times, and he's sick, and so he was sleeping. He doesn't usually take naps anymore, and I had been sitting with him, and then I was like, well, I could get up and do some work and get some things done and clear off this dresser over here. That would be great. And I was like, but Emily, you worked all day yesterday. How about you sit still? I was like, oh, I think I will. So sitting still, part of our Sabbath rest is sitting still, even when we maybe want to be moving, right? And so I encourage you today, tonight, while you're doing this practice, and this week, to ask God, perhaps, when you're in an uncomfortable situation, or when you are being forced to do things you don't want to do, or you're not looking forward to what the day is going to hold or what the week is going to entail, that you might say to God, show me what you have for me in today. Show me what you have for me in this interaction. Show me what you have for me in this to-do list. Often when I feel really empty and like I don't have anything more to give and don't have the energy to do the darned to-do list today, I will say, okay, God, what is here? Show me what I need, because I don't feel like I have what I need, but I know I have to do this. So meet me here. Show me here. Let's practice. I'm trying all kinds of different versions of doing the mat this way and this way. So right now we're in a diagonal moment. So our first pose is going to be a reclining kind of butterfly pose. Just let yourself come back on the mat, and if it feels all right, just have yourself all the way flat on the floor. with your legs in a butterfly, so you have your knees out to the sides, your feet together. They might be close up by your body, they might be far away from your body, or they might be in between somewhere. Find what feels good for your knees, kind of middle spot feels good for me. And if your knees are kind of high off the ground, mine are a little bit, then it's a perfect moment to grab a few books and to find the height of book or books that is right for your knees tonight. Okay, my knees are way too high for all of these books, so grab as many books as you want. I am going to move to blocks. It would be just as easy to have books this high, but what I've got right next to me is these blocks. And actually, yeah, so we've done restorative yoga before. And with restorative yoga, what you want is like no sensation. So I would want to keep these up like this if I was even doing this as a restorative pose, to keep me from feeling any sensation at all. But I do want some sensation, some stretch. So I've got them down a little bit lower, a little bit closer to my edge. So what we're looking for is discomfort, just a little bit of discomfort, not pain, and not a huge amount of discomfort, just a little bit of sensation that kind of stretches us, that might start to distract us, but that we are going to encourage our bodies and our minds to stay in the present moment and to stay with our bodies and with the sensation that's happening. And that starts to train our bodies and our minds to be okay with all kinds of discomfort in our lives. So, get yourself set up in this posture. Allow yourself to melt down toward the floor. You might move your attention through your body, starting with your head, moving down to your neck, through your spine and your limbs, down to your toes. Or you might start with your toes or your fingers and work your way up your body, up your spine, up to the top of your head. And as you take note of and acknowledge each part of your body, note any gripping or muscular action that you're taking, and see if you can allow it to release. Our work in Yin is to let go of effort. To allow these deeper tissues to take over for a little while. To give them room to relax as well. Every once in a while, check in with your body. Perhaps your edge has moved a bit. I'm actually going to move these out of the way. I might try my books now, a little bit lower. That feels a little bit better.
your tissues start to let go, you might need to change the edge where you find yourself. We'll take 5 more breaths here. And then after your 5th exhale, we'll begin to bring ourselves back to center. So you might use your hands and your arms to gently guide your legs back up toward the sky. You might stretch your legs along the mat for a moment. You might hug them in to your chest. We're actually going to stay down here on the mat for at least one more pose. I'm going to move these various props that I've got here out of the way. We're going to do a twist. Twists can be so detoxifying. Oh, I suspect they help with allergies. And my goodness, if we got allergies here in Texas right now. Whew. So, find your way back to your mat, and you're going to take your right leg and put it over your left, like you're crossing your legs. And then if you want to, you can snake that right foot around the back of your left ankle, your left shin, if you'd like to. That might be way more than you need. So put your arms out to the sides, maybe with your palms up in this kind of posture of receiving. And with your knees at a right angle to yourself, drop them over to the left side. So your right leg is on top of your left, and you've dropped your legs both over to the right side, the left side, sorry. If you want to, you can bring your gaze over to the right, which will intensify the stretch through your whole spine. Or you can just have your face up toward the sky. Breathe here. We'll take 3 more breaths on this side. Slow, long, deep inhales. Gentle, full exhales. And after your 3rd exhale, we'll unwind our feet and come back to center again. You might realign your spine. And then as you're ready, bring your left leg over your right. Maybe shift your hips over to the left side a bit, and then let your knees come out to the right. Releasing into this posture, this twist. Being with your body and your thoughts, being with acknowledging the sensations that you feel. Perhaps even offering yourself compassion. Take one more breath here. And unwind your legs. Bring yourself back to center. Inhale. And exhale. We're going to do a heart opening pose. We won't be in this pose super long because it's kind of a big pose, but it's good for so many parts of our bodies. So bring yourself into tabletop and then start to walk your hands out any amount. You might find that you are tight and done, like, say, right here. Great. Grab a bolster, pillow, and just lay right here. Starts to, open your back, allow your heart to open and sink. And if you don't want to use a bolster or a block or stuff, or you have really big open shoulders and heart, you can just keep walking your hands forward till you get all the way to the mat. And you can either have your chin on the mat, which turns into a big throat opener, or your forehead on the mat, which is what I'm going to do. But take my glasses off first. And we'll take 5 breaths here. It's a big opener, so just be real present with yourself for 5 inhales and 5 exhales. Then after your 5th exhale, start to walk your hands back in from wherever you are. Bringing your hands underneath your shoulders, your knees underneath your hips. Let's just move through a real gentle cat posture. Maybe drawing your chin toward your chest. Maybe rocking back and forth a bit. Explore a little bit of cow, feeling very open right now. And one more cat. We're actually going to continue to explore a little bit of that kind of cat concave posture with your legs out in front of you. And we're going to melt over our legs. You might want to have a bolster or pillow on top of your legs to help you feel secure where you are. And remember that in Yin, it's not about having a flat back and an open chest that's perfectly positioned, but just melting and allowing yourself to be. So let's take 6 breaths here. It's a little bit less intense than our last posture, so we'll take 6 breaths here. Then after your 6th exhale, you can use your hands to start walking yourself back up, gently coming into seated.
hope that you've enjoyed this little slower pace. Sunday Yin has become one of my favorite things during the week. I really appreciate y'all being with me. Have a good night.